Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. We are in a rain delay. We had some rain over the weekend. Had actually a little bit this morning. We got 300s, I think the rain gauge said. No big deal on that. But it is too wet to be in the fields today, so catching up on a few other things. I've been trying to update some seed business accounts and records, and we've had a few guys that have needed a few bags to finish up. Guys had a few extra bags they brought back, and I'm trying to make sure that all my records are updated. It is sometimes a struggle when you have this in-season stuff, and it is best practice to do it as you go and keep it up to date as much as possible. Getting my iPad out of the tractor. Once we're done planting, I really don't need it in there, and I could use it down at the seed warehouse for record keeping stuff. And when people bring me seed back, I can just put it in there and be done with it. So I do have a pallet of beans down there. I got to go through and count how many bags of each variety and get that guy credited on stuff. I think we're going to try and clean up the tank that we pulled behind the planter today, get that winterized and put away, which means we might have to make a run to town to get some RV antifreeze. So we'll see how this goes. These two pallets are what was brought back to me. We had 5 bags of one variety, 16 bags of another, so I got that all accounted for. We've got a little extra sitting here. I don't like having all this extra corn. I'm usually like very, very low in corn returns, and we're going to have a few more this year. And I had one guy that had 90 some bags of corn ordered, and he ended up switching it all to beans, so that's why. Fortunately, it's mostly early stuff, except for that pallet. The other 3 is all early that it could still move. Potentially somebody could come and take it or switch out. That's the problem. It's all going to be stuff that gets switched out for the later maturing stuff that it's too late to plant now, or getting to be that point. So we'll see how it goes. I do have 2 boxes of beans showing up here today for a guy that he needed them, so we'll have to get them treated as soon as they get here. But we should be good down here. I'm gonna head back to the farm. We're gonna go get the chisel plow unhooked from the 8R. Okay, we're back here. We'll get to that chisel plow. I was talking to Dad. We got some siding on our office that's loose and flapping around. He wants to fix it. And he was going to use a ladder, and then he's like, this is too steep. I don't want to use a ladder. I said, I have a man lift. Let's use it. Do you guys remember when no, you don't remember because I didn't show you. But I had a couple of boxes slip off the trailer that I may have mentioned to you in the past. It happened right under this tree here. It did. It happened. I don't know if you can tell, but that's all corn growing in my grass there. Yep, it is. And it's starting to grow around the tree. But yeah, there's that's all corn. Yeah, not cool. Don't mind me, just cruising down the road in my man lift. Our shake shingles up there are loose and flapping, and there's a couple small pieces that have blown off, so Dad wanted to get it fixed. Handy tool to have, let me tell you. Let's go ahead and get this unhooked. We won't be using it again until at least the fall, but there's a pretty high likelihood we don't really use it at all this fall either, so we'll see how it goes. We've got a spot back here that we don't farm because it's wet, or call it our waterway. I don't know. But there's a spot back there. That's where we park our equipment. Some of this stuff that we don't have room for in the barns, or just doesn't need to sit in the barn, taking up space. Things like that old field cultivator that we didn't even use this spring. Seems like a waste. Or this old chisel plow that we use once a year. Actually, we've used it a lot more in the last year than we normally do, because we used it some last fall too. So that was the easiest implement unhook I've had on anything except for the S-tine on the 4020 with the 3-point hitch. We don't have, well, the cylinder stop doesn't work anymore. The tool is back heavy when it's out of the ground, so you have to have a jack in the rear to keep it jacked up. The bracket for that is bent and broken, as most rear implement jacks are. So it just gets set on the ground until you get it perfectly balanced where it's loose, and you pull the hoses and you drive away from it, and it'll be fine. All right. Dad got our siding all fixed up, so that looks good. I've got a few different errands to run. I got to go stop at one of my customers here sort of locally and drop off a bill, which they're not going to like, but that's what it is. And pick up an empty pallet they asked me to come and get. So we will do that. And then I bought a hog, some pork off of a neighbor that I hear is ready to pick up from the processor. So I'm going to go pick that up. And I need some RV antifreeze to winterize that tank. We're gonna go get that. And then I'm gonna go pick up a new shuttle of DEF. Oh, I gotta take the old shuttle of DEF. Yeah, we'll get that. We gotta take the old one back and swap it for a new one. So, Phil's hauling corn. Back to hauling corn. Any chance he gets where we're not doing something else. Anyway, because I gotta get a shuttle of DEF, we're gonna take the Chevy truck, the 3/4 ton. I'm gonna drop the trailer. We can just put it in the back of the truck. I don't need to pull the trailer, but we're gonna take that truck. I'm not doing so good here. I made it to the customer and picked up a pallet, dropped off a bill. And then I was getting ready to leave to go to get the DEF and the rest of those errands and stuff. And I got the empty tow put in the back of my truck and got a call from a truck driver. My boxes are here, so I decided I needed to wait for that. So it's just taking a little longer than I was planning, but it's okay. We got some pork. We got a lot of pork. 210 pounds of pork. It's going to take me a while to eat that. Now we got a full DEF tote following us home. That is that's Berkey Farm Center. That's where we get our fertilizer and anhydrous and stuff for the farms at Berkey. They also happen to be a pretty good DEF supplier. When Dad called them and asked for a price, they were almost half of what our fuel supplier wanted for a tote per gallon. Not quite. It was $1.65 cheaper here than there. That's pretty good. So tote of DEF will last us about a year. It's a necessary evil, I guess. Now it's a pain in the butt. It's really not that bad. From a use standpoint, it just complicates our machinery so much that then we have breakdowns, and it's not fun. All right, now we'll get our tote unloaded here. I have 3 boxes of beans that need treated. Those 2 I brought in, plus I had another guy that needs a box for replant on the warehouse side of stuff. So we're gonna go down and treat those this afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, I likely have to deliver 3 boxes of beans. I did not make it to the store to get the RV antifreeze, so we'll have to do that another day. It's okay. It's okay. I do, however, have a bunch of pork in my truck that I better get unloaded before it gets all melty and ruined. And yeah, it's good. I'm glad we have it, but it wasn't exactly a deal or super cheap. I don't want to lose it. Moving some boxes down. Looks awfully dark that direction. Somebody's getting a heck of a rain. We don't really need any more. I would appreciate not getting any more rain for a while. Getting ready to treat the rest of our beans, or not the rest, but the beans that we need to. We got these 2 boxes. We need one from up there yet. That's a different variety. I have a visitor. Hi, Maraley. Hi. Nice glasses. You like them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you. Is that silly?
Yeah.
Yeah. What you doing today? Hanging out with Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to treating beans. Started this in February, I think, last day or 2 of February. Oh, it's been a long time, but that's okay. We've treated a lot of beans. It's a good thing for me. We've got more to do. We'll do our 3 boxes today, and then that's all that I know of until double crop beans, which I know, don't treat your double crop beans, right? Keep your costs as low as possible. Yeah, except for last year we had a huge advantage to treated beans on my double crop planted July 9th, so there's a pretty good chance I'm going to treat most, if not all of them. Okay, there's our 3 boxes treated. So we'll leave the lids off for tonight, let them air out, and then probably going to try and deliver them first thing in the morning tomorrow. Okay. Pile is shrinking, except for that pile. That pile is growing. We seem to have missed the rain. That's good. So today is Tuesday, not Monday, but I thought we should come back and look at our March planted beans. Planted March 25th back here. 9 weeks today, yesterday, I think. I don't know, it was Monday. I'd have to go back and count. I think we're up to 9 weeks. They're growing, albeit a little bit slower than I would like to see. Try and walk out here a little ways, get off the edge. But we're putting trifoliates out. These beans are probably going to stay a little shorter than had they been planted later, and that's okay. I don't mind them being a little bit shorter. What we want is nodes, and we are putting nodes on. So here's what we've got. Like if you look at this one here, we have 1, 2 fully expanded trifoliates working on number 3. So these would be V2 pushing V3 soybeans. And they look pretty good. They're looking better than they were. They were looking a little stunted there with the herbicide damage that we saw. Last week they didn't look phenomenal. You can see on the unifoliates, these lower leaves, we got that brown speckling. There's some herbicide damage, I think, is what that was. But they will grow out of that. We are seeing a little bit of feeding on some leaves, likely bean leaf beetle. Now, these were treated. They had a insecticide treatment in that. Whether that's still working for us or not, I don't really know. It should be, but it's been there for a long time, so it might be wearing off. I have heard of some other farmers in the area, particularly guys planting untreated beans, that have been complaining about bean leaf beetle damage. So not totally surprised to be seeing that. Yeah, it's time for these to take off, though. Time for them to start branching out, filling rows, and really growing. You can see we've got a few weeds out here, a little bit of volunteer wheat, some milkweeds, a few thistle patches. They're few and far between, but they are getting some size to them, and well, eventually we'll have to spray these beans. I would like to hold off for a little while, but it's going to have to happen pretty soon, I would think. Look at that. Farm's under a rainbow. Faint, but it's there. Of course, the other end's over there, over my house. How about that? Okay, see these trees back here? That must have been one heck of a fire. Alright, well, I am going home. I know, it's a little slow when it's too wet to do anything here. The problem is it's only going to be too wet for a couple of days, so I can't really start any projects and do anything big. So we're working on little things and odds and ends. I hear Brock's coming tomorrow, so that'll be good. We got to get that tank cleaned up, and I think I've got to deliver that seed in the morning, those 3 boxes, or at least one of those boxes for sure. Problem is it's a long freaking ways away. One of the farthest customers that I had to deliver to, so we'll deal with that. Get that done in the morning. Maybe we can bring some empty stuff back with us. I'm hoping we can spray some in the afternoon. So that's kind of my plan, is to get the sprayer out and do a little bit of some foliar stuff tomorrow. But it's got to dry off a little bit more, and we got to miss the rest of the rain here, which may or may not happen. There's been pop-up showers all afternoon around us, and we haven't got any here, but better check the fields where we're going. So thanks for watching this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. They'll pick back up again, don't worry. A couple hours later, but now we got a real rainbow, bright one. Wow, impressive.
Yeah, you can see it goes all the way from that tree all the way over to that